Bowser Jr. may be a relative newcomer in Mario's expansive roster of recurring antagonists, but this pint-sized terror has more than made up for lost time with a lengthy rap sheet that would make his dear old dad proud. But we're also going to be taking a look at the young Koopa's morally ambivalent and, dare we say it, good deeds. Villains in the Super Mario franchise have a habit of temporarily switching sides when the situation demands it, and Bowser Jr. is no exception. I'm Andrew with 1UP Binge, and this is Bowser Jr.'s Deeds, Good to Evil. As usual, we'll start with the lesser good deeds and work our way up to the most heroic ones, before descending down into the evil deeds. Starting this list off on a bit of an unexpected note, there's Junior's performance in the 3DS version of the Mario and Sonic 2012 Olympics crossover. There, he foils the plans of the main Sonic villain, Dr. Eggman. He flies off to stop Eggman's robots from terrorizing London, and in the process rescues some of Sonic's friends. Later, he challenges Metal Sonic to an event and emerges victorious over the villainous robotic double. Even though Junior shows off some actual heroics in the real world in this game, we can't really rank this one too highly. The Koopa Prince is all about showing off to his dad. Any good deeds performed along the way are purely coincidental. He's unlikely to get the praise he's craving either, since in another one of his antics he inadvertently reveals that Bowser and Eggman had been working together on one of the schemes disrupting the competition. Tough luck, kid. Maybe leave the zany spin-off villainy to the adults next time. As you might expect based on that, the list of Bowser Jr.'s genuinely good deeds is quite short. So short, in fact, that first up we've got Bowser Jr.'s Bronze Medal of Good, if you can call it that. He takes center stage in the Bowser Jr.'s Journey storyline of the Bowser's Inside Story remake for the 3DS, setting out to find a cure for the Blorb disease infecting Bowser's minions. He makes no secret, however, that his primary motivation is impressing his father, and along the way he's forced to learn many hard lessons from his underlings as a result of his rotten attitude. Bowser Jr. matures into a successful leader in the end, guiding his army of minions against Fawful's forces. He doesn't earn the respect he's craving from Bowser, but that's to be expected from the Koopa King. Still though, it's a challenge to classify this as a good act when Jr. himself claims during his mission that good and evil are overrated. Additionally, his storyline here is a follow-up to the tactical side story of the first Mario & Luigi remake, which starred a lowly Goomba rising from his humble foot soldier origins to become a capable and respected captain of minions. Placing the Koopa Troop's resident Nepo baby in a similar role just doesn't hit the same, you know? Regardless, it's a fact that if anything can get Bowser Jr. motivated into heroics, it's helping out his dad. His Silver Medal of Good comes to him as a result of Bowser's fury, where the young Koopa enlists Mario's help in ending the rampage of Fury Bowser. He transports Mario to Lake Lapcat to confront the kaiju-sized Bowser. Mario brings his usual platforming and plot trinket collecting skill set to the task of defeating the monster, but don't think that Junior's about to just sit on the sidelines and let the plumber do all the work. Bowser Jr. joins in the adventure himself with his clown car and magic paintbrush, defeating enemies and obtaining power-ups to aid Mario in his mission. Jr. can even be controlled directly by the second player, a rarity for a bad guy in the main Mario series. There's a twist to this shocking team-up though. Eventually, it's revealed that Bowser Jr. was in fact responsible for the creation of Fury Bowser. He was looking to prank his dad by covering the Koopa King in black paint while he slept, but when Bowser woke up, the magical properties of the paint fueled his rage so strongly that he grew into the raging monstrosity terrorizing Lake Lapcat. If only Bowser Jr. were more like Jigglypuff and stuck to a plain old marker whenever he got the urge to doodle on unsuspecting sleepers. As it stands, there's only been one occasion where Bowser Jr.'s acted out of pure heroism and not as a consequence of his own bratty behavior. In Paper Mario: The Origami King, he again teams up with Mario to rescue Bowser, earning him his Gold Medal of Good. After a nasty run-in with Legion of Stationary member Scissors, Kamek helps Mario patch up the Koopa Kid in the springs of Shangri Spa. The impromptu alliance of Plumber and Koopa storms Bowser's castle, with Bowser Jr. bent on saving his father, but he's sliced up again by Scissors, leaving Mario to combat this mortal foe of all paper. Bowser Jr. recovers again, and he and Kamek join in on the assault against King Ollie's forces. Jr. is, once again, overwhelmed, but this time there's an enraged Bowser there to teach Ollie's goons not to mess with his son. The Origami King is truly Bowser Jr.'s strongest stint as a good guy, where he gets to save the day while sharing some real quality time with his dad like he's always wanted. The two are even invited to attend the Origami Festival at the end of the game. It's just a shame that the goodwill these two build up whenever they work with the heroes never seems to rub off on them. Evil must really run in the family. On that note, we're going to switch gears now and take a look at Bowser Jr.'s evil deeds, starting from the lesser evil and working our way down to the most evil. Fittingly for the Mario Party series, Bowser Jr.'s party game mischief is pretty harmless compared to all of his more villainous outings. Beginning in Mario Party DS, he can often be found taunting the player player and challenging them to boss minigames. He took over this role from the generic Koopa Kid found in the older games in the series, who had no distinctive characteristics but did at least exist in theoretically infinite numbers, kind of like Toads. In Mario Party 10's Bowser Party mode, the little go-getter Bowser Jr. gives himself a promotion to board host. There, he offers his aid to the Bowser player in ways that feel totally fair and not at all like blatant cheating. Bowser Jr.'s also taken up a playable slot on the roster on 2 occasions, where he competes against the other characters for the coveted title of Superstar. Just like his dad, Bowser Jr. always brings his A-game to these parties, but also like his dad, getting him to play fair can be an exercise in futility. Uninvited party guests, what can you do? It's not like Bowser Jr. is a stranger to feeling uninvited either. Many fans were slow to warm to the new Prince of the Koopas, thanks to a retcon by Nintendo that displaced the older Koopaling characters. The 7 Koopalings were introduced in Super Mario Bros. 3 as Bowser's children, and with their frequent appearances throughout the 90s and distinctive individual traits, this bratty brood of kids quickly became fan favorites. When Bowser Jr. was added to the series more than 10 years later, his relation to the Koopalings was left up in the air, until creator Shigeru Miyamoto himself confirmed that the Koopalings were no longer considered to be Bowser's children, but instead merely high-ranking members of the Koopa Troop. Bowser Jr. has gone on to feature alongside the Koopalings in several games, including the new Super Mario Bros. Titles, as well as a handful of spin-offs. But the sour taste left behind by such a controversial change has stuck with some players. This one's not exactly Bowser Jr.'s fault per se, but we wouldn't exactly put it past him to deliberately edge out the Koopalings so that he could claim the top spot as Bowser's first and only kid either. Evil may be a growth industry, but the competition is hell. We've clearly established by now that Bowser Jr. is nothing if not a poor sport, so it's no wonder that when he steps up to the plate in Super Mario Sluggers, he takes advantage of the opportunity to conquer the baseball kingdom. Like in any other Mario sports title, the stakes are relatively low here, but Jr. inheriting his dad's affinity for ruining everyone's fun with a random conquest ranks up there on the list of petty and evil acts. He also turns Daisy into a statue at one point, which is just unnecessarily cruel for a kid who's only out to beat everyone at baseball. Mario and his friends claim victory over Bowser Jr. by winning against him in every stadium and challenge mode. Daisy then proves she's easily the most forgiving out of all her friends because she invites the father and son Koopa for celebratory desserts on her cruiser in spite of the whole statue incident. We guess there are times when villains can have their cake and eat it too. Although, maybe this was a conscious decision by the devs not to have Daisy repeat her actions from Mario Party 3 and punch an actual child into the stratosphere, much like she did with Bowser back in the day. Who's to say? With how close Bowser Jr. is to his dad, it should come as no surprise that many of his evil schemes see him helping out Bowser in his attacks on the Mushroom Kingdom. In the new Super Mario Bros. Series, Bowser Jr. is often the one leading the charge on Peach's capture. He directs the Koopalings in their maneuvers as they set out to conquer the land, guards key defensive points throughout the kingdom, and assaults Mario from atop his airship. In the first game, Jr. is also the one to revive his father after the Koopa King runs afoul of some lava and becomes Dry Bowser. He takes to the skies as well in the Super Mario Galaxy games, battling Mario with a host of mechanized contraptions or summoning monsters to do the work for him. Finally, in Paper Mario Sticker Star, Bowser Jr. is on the hunt for rare stickers, and he's not about to let Mario stand in his way. Armed with a clown car packed to the brim with all sorts of deadly gimmicks, Bowser Jr. is the sort of mini-boss who just refuses to go down no matter how many times Mario teaches him a lesson. Like all the other big baddies in the franchise, the kids sure got tenacity. What's the only thing worse than an evil young upstart with big dreams of villainy? 2 evil young upstarts! That's exactly what the heroes of the Mushroom Kingdom are forced to contend with in Mario & Luigi Paper Jam. Bowser Jr. claims his bronze medal of evil there when he teams up with his paper counterpart to help their fathers and sow chaos. Unlike the game's other evil duos, the 2 Bowser Jr.'s hit it off quickly, and they even come up with the idea to destroy the book containing the paper world so that Paper Bowser Jr. won't have to return to it. It figures that such a selfish brat would pick himself from another world as his best friend. The 2 of them make for an effective team-up too, as they learn to work in tandem as closely as the Mario Brothers themselves. The boss fight against the pair will drag on forever unless the 2 juniors are defeated simultaneously. Of course, their plot is foiled in the end, although both of the Bowser Juniors do succeed in getting the attention of their overprotective fathers. We can only imagine what sort of diabolical interdimensional playdates these 2 might plot together if they ever get to meet up again. If they ever happen across the dimension-straddling world of Super Paper Mario in their travels, the future future of the multiverse is looking bleak indeed. We also have ample evidence that when Junior does try to step up into the big leagues, the results can be catastrophic. His Silver Medal of Evil comes from Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle, where Bowser Jr. leads the evil Rabbid army and serves as the story's first antagonist. Junior is out to conquer the Mushroom Kingdom while his father is on vacation, and to that end, he makes every effort to defeat Mario and his new Rabbid allies. He's even directly responsible for creating many of the bosses that the protagonists face on their travels. Once they've battled their way through Junior's forces, the heroes confront him inside his factory. Bowser Jr. whips out his latest robotic creation, the Mecha Jr., but it too falls before Mario's tactical prowess. It's only after the manifestation of the terrifying Megabug that Junior sees the error of his ways, begging the good guys to save his father from the threat of the Megabug. Just because he's been beaten doesn't mean Bowser Jr. has become any less of a brat, however. At the end of the story, he tries to get Mario to take the blame for the Megabug attacking and merging with Bowser. The plumber and his friends aren't about to let the Koopa Kid get away with that one though. Bowser Jr.'s mischief-making schemes have taken him to some truly villainous places, but allying himself with a bunch of kooky rabbit creatures has got nothing on the terror he brings to Isle Delfino. Super Mario Sunshine is Bowser Jr.'s first appearance, and we're awarding him the Gold Medal of Evil for his villainous antics in his introductory outing. He crashes Mario and friends' tropical island vacation, gunking up all of Isle Delfino with magical paint and then framing Mario for the crime. Junior hopes that the local Piantas will lock Mario up, but when the hero is instead released with community service, Junior takes a leaf out of his dad's book and kidnaps Peach. This all builds to some frankly ridiculous scenes, like Bowser and Son chilling out in a hot tub with a giant rubber ducky, and Peach expressing what appears to be genuine confusion over Bowser Jr. claiming that she's his mother. Seriously, what was even up with that? Comedy aside though, the ecological and economic cost to Isle Delfino must have been immense, and to add insult to injury, Bowser Jr.'s rampage was pure collateral damage. Neither he nor Bowser cared about the island at all. It just happened to be where Mario and Peach were headed for vacation. That's enough for us to label Super Mario Sunshine as Bowser Jr.'s most evil appearance. Better not tell Bowser that his son peaked early.